Hello everyone, this is Pico Entertainment and we are back again, and here now we have another video for you, and this will be a review of the opening episode of Tulsa King. Now there might be spoilers throughout this episode, so just beware when going into this overall video. Now debuting on the Paramount Plus streaming platform on the 13th of November 2022, Tulsa King stars Slyvester Stallone, Max Casella, Vincent Piazza, and it was created by Taylor Sheridan. It tells the story of gangster Dwight Madifled, who has come out of prison after serving a 25-year sentence. Returning to his crime family with hopes of picking up where he left off, he's disappointed as his family view him as past it, and they instead assign him to the quiet town of Tulsa, Oklahoma to build his base. Upon his arrival, Dwight is frustrated by the lack of activity as he looks to make his mark, trying to acclimatise to the modern day society, often finding himself out of touch. Now my interest in this show was primarily Slyvester Stallone, who is one of my all-time cinematic heroes, having grown up in the 80s, been influenced like so many in his roles such as Rocky and Rambo, and I always felt that Stallone has always been a strong character actor whose ability has been somewhat underappreciated by the industry because of his iconic action hero status. So I'm always interested when Stallone tries roles outside the action man genre, and seeing him playing an aging gangster trying to rebuild his empire had all sorts of interesting potential. But when looking at this opening episode, I'm very mixed on it. The whole concept really is an unbalanced mix of a gangster story with a quirky comedy and also a modern day western, and it doesn't really flow well. The whole episode, to be honest, not really a lot happens. It largely consists of Dwight visiting different places, shaking down some people, meeting a woman at a hen night who turns out to be a cop, and that's really it. In many ways, I felt similar to Dwight as the character himself as he travelled around all over town thinking, what is there really interesting or compelling here? There just wasn't really a lot to keep me invested in this first episode. Now there were some good comedic moments when we see Dwight clearly out of touch with the current world and society and still acting like he's a massive crime lord with a massive reputation, when in actual reality nobody knows who he is at all. Now in terms of Stallone's performance, again it was very mixed. In the beginning, when we see him having a go at the mafia family and throwing his weight about, his delivery of his dialogue was a bit patchy, and when I was watching these early scenes I was actually a bit worried as to whether he had actually been miscast in this role. But once Dwight goes out to Tulsa, Stallone's performance improves and he shows the charisma and presence that I believe that he's always had, and yes, it's that presence that really carried the entire episode. Now of course, this is only episode 1, and I'm sure as they introduce more elements, more characters, whether it be the fellow gangsters, whether they further Dwight's relationships with other characters, his responsibilities to the crime family as the police pursue him, I'm sure when all of these are brought to the fore, the series will become much more interesting, and we do have to look forward to some sort of strong actresses such as Dana Delaney and Annabella Sciorra coming into the show later on. And all of this will give Stallone much more dynamics to bounce off and play with, and this will improve his performance even more. So there is more potential with this series, and I do hope it gets a little bit more serious, as again I'm not sure the light-hearted comedic tone really suited it well in terms of the overall material. I hope we get a bit more pace and energy in terms of the actual storytelling. But as of now, I'm not really completely sold yet on the Tulsa King as a series, but I do hope it gets better in the future, and I also hope it's a success for Stallone. This show of course is his first venture into television, and whilst I do see him always as a cinematic movie star, the fact of the matter is that times have changed, and as we've seen very much so the emergence of streaming, it's very difficult for these iconic superstars such as Slyvester Stallone to still get standalone projects funded by studios. He's talked about this multiple times in previous interviews, how if he tried to get Rocky made today, there would be no chance because no studios would be willing to give him the opportunity. So in that sense, I do hope that Tulsa King does garner a big success for Stallone, and hopefully can lead to him getting more standalone cinematic roles outside both of Rocky and Rambo, because as I mentioned before, I do believe he is truly a great actor in his own right. So that's my overall thoughts and feelings and quick review of Tulsa King, the opening episode. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you saw it, what do you think of it? Do you think it's better off served as a much more hard-edged gangster story, or do you like more the comedic elements? Having watched it, do you think Stallone has still got it, or do you think he should really now be scaling back as he comes into his elder years? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if I do continue to stay with the series, I will of course provide a overall season review of the show when we arrive at the eventual finale. So look out for that more on the channel, and if you have any other suggestions regarding movies or television series or any other burning topics within the entertainment industry that you'd like to see me cover, then also drop me a suggestion. I will see if I could provide further commentary on those topics in the future. Please also hit and like the subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you with more high quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you very, very soon.